Hello, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the City of Seven Hills Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for August 12th, 2020. Welcome, everybody, for joining today, and thank you for attending. Terry, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Borowitz?
Here.
Mr. Bruns?
Here.
Mr. Aiken?
Here.
Mr. Madej?
Here. Before I begin, I guess all zoning board members and all meeting attendees, before you speak, if you can please say your name, and I believe we need to do that every time, just so that individuals that are joining only by phone will obviously know who is in attendance. So yeah, we'll do that as well. Okay, so Chris Bruns speaking. So I'd like to recognize the following individuals who have joined our meeting tonight. We've got Christine Tobin joining the phone. She is our legal counsel and is here in an advisory position to the board. We also have Zoning Commissioner Jeff Grassi, who is also here as an advisor to the board. Do we also have Councilman Tom Schnitzky today? Okay, yeah, it sounds like we may not have Councilman Schnitzky yet, but he does typically join, so he may join a little bit later on. And I think that is all of the special advisors to the board. And again, this is Chris Bruns speaking. So the Zoning Board of Appeals is comprised of volunteer members with diverse professional backgrounds. We represent all 4 wards of Seven Hills, and we are all residents of Seven Hills. All of our meetings are public. Obviously, this one in this case is being simulcast and being webcast. With the audio from the meeting is recorded from the microphones. The minutes from these meetings are created and submitted to council for review and for permanent record. We consider all information and testimony presented during the meeting to create a harmony with the original purpose and intent of the zoning code and the variance requests that are brought before us, so that public health, safety, morals, and general welfare may be secured and substantial justice done to all parties involved. Anything that is voted on tonight is not formally approved until it passes through City Council for final approval. Council does hold the power to approve, amend, modify, or reverse any of the decisions of this board. Council meetings are typically the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. And does anybody on the call know the date of the next planned council meeting where a variance request could be heard?
It'll probably be September 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, September 15th.
Okay, September 15th. Any of the applicants here tonight, very important for you to wait until after that city council meeting, obviously, before you proceed with any building projects, again, if the variance is approved by the board. But we certainly recommend that you call City Hall prior to that scheduled meeting to verify the dates of the meeting and ask if your variance is on that meeting agenda. Also, applicants have 1 year from the date that the variance is approved by City Council to obtain a building permit. After that year, the variance is considered void, and you'll need to start the application process over again. And Terry, have the meetings, I guess, from the July and June, have the minutes from the July and June meetings been distributed yet?
No, they've not been completed yet.
Okay, great. So we will look for those in the future for review. Okay, Chris Bruns speaking. So I'd like to move on to the new business portion of tonight's meeting. So we do have just one variance request brought before us tonight. This is from a Mr. Daniel Bryant of 964 John Glenn Drive. He has requested a variance to allow the construction of a 6-foot high privacy fence 9 feet forward of the man door on the easterly side of his home. So before we start with that, Mr. Bryant, are you on the call today? Okay, yep. Mr. Daniel Bryant, he's our applicant. Are you joining the call today, please? You may be on mute, sir.
Mr. Chairman, this is Christine Tobin.
Yeah.
The live stream may be offline. Is there a way to check?
This is Terry Manson, Secretary. Let me go down to Todd at the conference in the council chambers and let him know it's offline.
Yeah, it may be.
Okay, let me go down. I'll be away for a few minutes.
Okay, Chris Brown speaking. Yeah, I believe we'll just pause until we ascertain. Thank you.
Yeah, he said it appears to be offline. Okay. Okay, then that's what it is, because they can't hear Mr. Bryan. Yeah. Mr. Bruns, Christine? Hello?
Yes. Yep. Chris Bruns is here.
Yes.
I'm speaking to Todd now, and he said it's functioning correctly in the council chambers and on his cell phone. Do you have sound, Todd?
Yes.
And he has sound also. Did you want me to call Mr. Bryant and see if he is online?
Yeah, this is Chris Brown speaking. Yeah, I believe we will want to speak with him.
All right. One moment then, please. I'm going to give him a call.
Understood. Thanks, Terry.
Pardon?
The video and the sound.
There's what?
There's a delay.
Oh, there's a delay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be it too. What we were talking about before just came over.
Okay. Mr. Brunsquist, I'm in the process of calling Mr. Bryant. Todd Steinmetz just told me that there is a delay in the sound. And right now I'm just getting the voicemail box of Mr. Bryant.
Okay. I don't know. Christine Tobin, I guess I would imagine we will need the applicant to be on the call to be able to assess his request. Is that accurate?
If you're...
Chairman Bruns, this is Christine Tobin. Yes, I believe the applicant needs to make his presentation to the board.
372, they are trying to contact you. Otherwise, they can't hear your zoning variance. Thank you. I gave him my cell phone number to call.
Okay, well, this is Chris Bruns speaking. I guess I could propose maybe we could wait for 5 minutes, wait until 7:15, to see if we can contact the applicants. But I guess if we cannot, then I believe the variance will have to be postponed, or at least that variance request will have to be postponed to a subsequent meeting. Okay, yep, this is Chris Brunn speaking. I believe we just had a new call-in to the meeting. Yeah, could you please give us your name?
Hi, this is Councilman Tom Snitsky. Sorry about that.
Chris Brunn speaking. Understood, Tom. Yep, thanks again for joining. We are just, unfortunately, our applicant has not joined the call yet, so we're just giving that applicant a few more minutes. Terry did contact, or tried to contact him by cell phone. Unfortunately, was only able to leave a voicemail, so I believe we're just going to give a few more minutes to see if the applicant can join. But if they can't join, then I believe we'll have to postpone that variance request to a future meeting.
Okay, however it works.
Mr. Chairman, this is Building Commissioner Grassi.
Yes, go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, maybe Christine can have some input, Terry maybe. Is it I'm under the impression that it's the chairman and that they can make that, they have discretion to make that decision as far as postponing it or ruling on that variance. He's actually made his request in writing, and he's given us all his details. I don't know how you've previously done it. If that's the case, then it'll have to be postponed. But previously, I don't know how it reads. I'm just putting some input in just to.
Okay, yeah, and I'm certainly willing to. Again, Chris Brunn speaking. I'm willing to discuss, and I don't. I honestly, since I've been on the board, I don't think we've ever had an occasion where an applicant has not attended the meeting. Again, these are challenging meetings. I understand the calling in can be a bit of a technical issue for some folks. But I don't know. I could open it up to the other board members, or certainly Christine Tobin. We would very much value your legal opinion on that as well. But I would probably be personally open either way. Obviously the applicant calling, they can answer questions that we have. So obviously we don't have the ability to pose any questions to them. But any other board members have any thoughts on that?
This is Ryan Midday. I think it's important for the applicant to participate in the meeting.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
This is Rick Aiken. I actually spoke to the applicant yesterday when I was at his house looking at the variance request. But it's a fairly simple one. My only hesitation with proceeding, personally, because I've already talked to him, is that there were questions that were posed by neighbors that I believe we want to read into the record and allow the applicant to answer those or address those questions from one of the neighbors that submitted comments. So that'd be my thought, is we wouldn't be able to get his comments before we rule.
Yeah. Chris Brunn speaking. Yeah, no, I agree, Rick, that, I would like to see at least the applicant be able to answer the questions that were posed by the neighbor, kind of the concerned resident. Gary, any thoughts?
Yeah, this is Gary Barwatts. Hey, Rick, when you talked to him yesterday, was he aware that he had to join the meeting?
This is Rick Aiken. Honestly, like Chris said, we never had an applicant not show up, so it really wasn't a topic of conversation. I just told him I was here to look at the variance request for tomorrow night, and I come out to all the variance requests to just get a personal look, and we're going to discuss whether he had to be there or not. It was, I believe in the letter it states that I have to reread the letter, but it get into the meeting detail, so I didn't tell one way or the other not to be here. So I just assumed he'd be here, so it wasn't even a topic of conversation. Yeah.
Right, no, I would agree. I would think he would assume he has to appear, but we'll see what happens.
This is Christine Tobin. I just wanted to point out to the board that the letter sent out to the applicant by the zoning board secretary does state to contact her if he would not be attending, so that this discussion could be had. And Terry, did you receive any communication from him?
No, I did not. This is Terry Mattson. No, I did not.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, Chris Brunn speaking. I guess most cautiously, I would probably prefer to have the applicant on the call. I think that's that's a pretty unanimous decision of the board, or at least a strong opinion. And like, again, maybe the applicant didn't quite understand, or maybe there's some miscommunication or some issue that came up. But it would probably be best to postpone. Any other final thoughts?
This is Councilman Tom Snitsky. I seem to recall in the past that we've allowed applications to go through without the attendance of the applicant, unless there was a question that people had or a discussion that people want to have about the application. But Christine and Terry might remember, but I seem to recall times in the past where we've had applicants that we ruled on it without their attendance. So I can't remember for sure, but I don't necessarily see that as a problem unless there are questions or comments that need to be resolved. So it's your guys' call, though. It's not my meeting.
This is Ryan Midday. Councilman, I think you're right. In this case, as board member Rick Hagan pointed out, we've got a neighbor that posed a number of questions that I think the applicant we would want to hear from the applicant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, Chris Brunt speaking. I think I'd like to move on to the next portion of the meeting, and obviously that we'll have to consider this applicant for a future meeting. Okay, so let's move on to the communication portion of the meeting. Our next meeting is. Terry, do you have that next meeting date accessible? Unfortunately,
The next meeting date will be September 16th.
September 16th. Okay. And are there any, variance requests on your docket for that meeting?
Not at this point, other than this one.
Okay.
Building Commissioner Grassi, I believe we have one possibly coming in, so.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Go ahead, Rick.
Rick Hagan, this is more of a point of order type of question, but do we actually need to table this to the next meeting?
Yeah, I think that would be proper. Yeah, Chris Brunt speaking. I guess, can I have a motion to table this variance request?
I make a motion to table this request.
Okay, great. A second, please.
And this is Gary Barwatz. I'll second it.
Okay, yeah, Chris Brunt speaking. Terry, please call the roll.
Mr. Madey?
Yes.
Mr. Bruns?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Barowitz?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Chris Brunt speaking. Yes, the motion has passed to table this variance request to a future meeting. Thank you. Okay, so so we got September 16th. I think tentatively planned. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Oh, Chris, yeah, it's Gary. I'm just looking on my computer, and it shows that there's 4 other callers on here. I know Christine's on here, Tom's on here, and Terry's on here. Who's the 4th one?
It's Spencer at City Hall. So
Okay, but I
the
see
audio.
Spencer also on here.
Yeah, I have it on my video, and I call in to get the audio for YouTube.
Oh, so you're on here twice. Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Again, Chris Brunt speaking. Any other communications today?
No, this is the Secretary, Terry Matson. We have not received any other communications.
Okay, thank you. Okay, again, Chris Brunt speaking. Any old business to address? Okay. Any comments from the board members?
Mr. Chairman, this is Rick Aiken. Just wondering if you want to look at the next meeting date and maybe move it up before the next board meeting, since I don't know if there's anything in the, I know we did this format so we're after the planning commission, so there's something on the planning commission docket that we need to meet with them afterwards. We could do that, but just wondering if everyone's available, if we meet before the next, council meeting, there's really no harm lost to the owner because he couldn't do anything until the board met anyway. So, just a suggestion. We don't have to bend over backwards if we don't want to, but just a suggestion.
Okay, so you're thinking of moving that meeting up 1 week? Or it's...
Just a thought. It depends on when the council meeting is, and I saw the calendar it's the 8th, so it might be a little too soon in the month to do it. So, Mr. Councilman Stissy, if you know the exact date of the next council meeting.
Yes, council meetings are the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of the month, so that would be the 8th.
No, Tom, I'm sorry. 15th, you have to have a full week.
I'm sorry, say again?
You have to have a full week, so it would be the 15th for a council meeting. On the 8th, you have a caucus meeting.
Oh, we don't do caucus meetings anymore. They're all at one night.
And okay.
But Tuesday is the 1st of September.
Correct, but it's a Tuesday.
I don't understand. So you're saying we won't have a council meeting on the 8th?
Are your council meetings now? Because I'm getting confused. Is it the 2nd? Is it the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of the month?
No.
Or the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of the month?
3 meetings, everything. We have 2 meetings a month, the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of the month.
Of a full week, correct?
I don't know about that. The 1st is a Tuesday.
Every time there's been a Monday that's been like, say this, where Monday is August, you go to the next full week. It's always a full week. So it would be the 15th for a council meeting.
Is this Christine?
No, it's Terry.
I don't know, Terry. I'm assuming it's the 8th and the 22nd. So I don't know.
Hey, we could find out. Let Mr. Bryant know.
Okay.
This is Christine Tobin. Could I just make a comment? Why don't we just confirm that it's whether or not it's a full week or not for the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays, and then we can let the chairman know here. And chairman, if you'd like to call a special zoning board hearing later, certainly we can do that with sufficient notice. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Response speaking, I'm very open.
This is Mr. Snitsky again. I can tell you that, we can do that. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Wrong. That's what I was thinking.
This is Building Commissioner Grassi again. So will that affect the timing of this next request that's coming in by the 31st at noon?
No.
This is Christine Tobin. No, Mr. Building Commissioner, the zoning board meets on the full week. So that next application that may be coming in, they've been informed as to the correct date from that last meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Rick.
I noticed a new caller that just called in. Caller 5.
Okay, yep. Thanks, Rick. This is Chris Brunn speaking. Yes, welcome, new caller. Can you please give us your name?
Sure. This is Ivan Nemechek at 991 John Glenn.
Okay, sir. Yes, thank you for joining us today. We've unfortunately the applicant has not joined our call, so we have decided.
Yeah, I was listening. Actually, I'm watching it on YouTube. I'm listening to it on YouTube. There's a little delay, and then when I was looking at it, all of a sudden the phone number popped up at the chat, so I figured I'd call in. And I heard that the applicant didn't show up. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, sir. Thanks for joining. But we've voted to table this variance for a future meeting. I guess I'll ask that.
So if I have a question, should I wait until that time, or can I ask it now?
If it's specific to that case, then or to that variance request, then yeah, it'll be best for you to call in at the future meeting with the applicant, so you can ask that of the applicant.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, Chris Brown speaking again. Any other comments from board members?
This is Rick. Can I just say we find out the date of the next board council meeting. If it's going to affect any of the applications, or there's a planning commission issue that we need to do, then maybe Chris, you give me a determination if we can move up the meeting or just keep it where it is. I honestly don't care one way or the other. I was just making a suggestion. So
Okay. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, no, we'll get that information and make that decision. Okay, great. Again, Chris Brunt speaking. Well, then may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Ryan Midday, make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, and a second.
It's Gary Barwitz. I'll second it.
Okay, Chris Brunt speaking. Yet motion's been made to adjourn. Terry, please call the roll.
Mr. Aiken?
yes.
Mr. Barowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Bruns?
Yes.
Mr. Madey?
Yes.
Okay, Chris Brunt speaking. Yeah, that motion has been passed to adjourn. So this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we'll talk to you here in 2 weeks.